At the end of the, or earlier, Victoria and Ruth talked about this being an emotional night, playing you again. And at the end of the match, in the encore interview, you seemed also pretty emotional. What were the emotions like?
Well, she's a really good friend. I would say we're pretty close. Um, we're both moms, and we know how hard it is and how hard it's been for us to come back, and we're starting literally from scratch and fighting our way back. So it's been an arduous road, and I think we both really appreciate both of our efforts to do the best that we can do.
I think this could be a symbolic victory for you. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Based on the way you played, the way you competed tonight, the level that you hit, maybe something that could really help you down the road and get you where you want to go.
Yeah, I thought about that, and that kept me going. It was really good for me to kind of fight through that, because literally I had to fight for every point.
Serena, the U.S. women's soccer team today filed a lawsuit over wage discrimination, not getting paid as much as the men. As someone who's been passionate about issues like that, what's your message to them as they start this process?
Yeah, I don't follow soccer as much. I do know that the pay discrepancy is ludicrous. It's a battle. It's a fight. We've had some incredible pioneers in our sport that stood up in the 70s and said, with this dollar, those 13 women said, we're going to get paid what the men pay, and they stood up way back then. I think at some point in every sport, you have to have those pioneers, and maybe it's the time for soccer. I'm playing because someone else stood up, and so what they're doing right now is hopefully for the future of women's soccer.
Serena, when you've not played for 6 weeks, which is the case here, and you have such a tough first-round match, what's the secret to playing so well so quickly? Because we've seen you do this in Grand Slams before as well, when you've had a very tough first-round draw.
Just being prepared, prepared for this tournament, and just going for everything and at every point. So I think preparation is key.
Your relationship with Vika, how common is that on the tour to have those kind of friendships?
It's not super common with a lot of top players, but recently, I think in the past few years, it's been more common than it was when I first came on tour. I'm close with a lot of the ladies on tour, so I think it's getting more common, and it's great because a lot of us travel. We see each other more than sometimes we see our own family members. So it's I feel like we in the group in the locker room have gotten more supportive than it was when I first came on tour, and just grinding every week. And these are not only we play against them, but they're also our colleagues, and I feel like that's how I try to look at it.
Serena, you've played 2 tournaments this year, and you played 3 former number ones already. What does it say about
I don't have very good. I always have the toughest draws. So.
What does that say about the current women's game, you think?
I don't know. It just means I've been on tour a long time to play a lot of former number ones.
So, that was an extraordinary match to watch, and there was a great atmosphere. But when you're in the middle of a battle like that, are you able to enjoy a match like that, or is it just too difficult? One, because it is the heat of the battle, and 2, it's somebody that you're very friendly with across the net.
I think that it's you can't really enjoy it because then you'll lose focus. So it's like you got to kind of stay in the moment, and it's important to sometimes you realize oh my God, this is gonna be a classic, but you can't let your mind go there because you wouldn't want to watch it in the future.
Today's your serve very fast, like I believe the fastest serve you tonight is like 113 miles per hour, and then right after that you had a 107, like ace, like so. How do you keep that speed so consistent? And also, do you keep like are you aware how much you like how fast you serve during the match? Do you look at it or?
Yeah, I see every single time how fast I serve. I look at the speed clock if there is one. Every single serve, or after the point's over, if it's still up, I'll try to see what my speed was. I didn't serve hard tonight or good, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you said on court afterwards, you talked about being from California and how you connect to California. As you're thinking about settling down with your family, are you thinking Florida, California? Are you thinking about it not at all?
Well, I'm still on tour and very much involved in tennis, so I'm not really thinking about that yet, you know, just...
I don't know, pre-K. Sneaking up.
I know, and I actually feel ashamed that I haven't really thought about that. So, yeah, I thought about that. I didn't think about that a couple weeks ago, and I was getting nervous because I understand a lot of these schools are filled up, like when your baby's in your belly. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really am kind of nervous that I'm not nervous, more but nervous about it.
Serena, you spoke beautifully about how you wouldn't be where you are if it weren't for basically the courage and the actions of others in the past. Billie Jean King speaks glowingly about the work of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Are you familiar with her work?
With who?
With Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was a women's advocate.
Okay.
Before she was on the bench. Are you familiar with
I'm actually not, so I need to do a little homework.
Obviously not getting any easier. With Garbine and Muguruza in the next round, your thoughts there?
It'll be good. I haven't played her in a while. I think tonight was a good match to get me ready for that. And I'm ready. I feel like, you know, this is what I want, so I'm ready for the next round.
In the match tonight, there was a few moments where, especially in the second set, you were obviously already playing very well, but then you'd each dig a little bit deeper and raise your level further. What are some of the triggers happening in the match in your mind to make you decide to elevate the game even further?
You know, just being professional more than anything, and just wanting to be out there and continue to be out there. And I think really, literally, that's what it boiled down to today.